The eruption of Mount St. Helens on May 18, 1980, was one of the most dramatic geologic moments in American history.
Friday, the 13th.
We are awed, and rightly so, by the forces of destruction at loose in the world in its nuclear era.
5 seconds left in the game. Do you believe in miracles? Yes! Unbelievable.
John Lennon, singer, songwriter, leader of a musical group that led a generation. Earlier this week he was killed. Today, New York and the world mourn.
Dallas fans waited and debated over which of the plausible suspects had pulled the trigger.
Take a number.
From any number of bamboozled oil barons
I'll get you for this if it's the last thing I do.
to JR's neglected, long-suffering wife, Sue Ellen.
Tell me, JR, which slut are you going to stay with tonight?
He told me you killed him. No. I am your father.
It's not true.
I don't understand. What do you mean kill you?
Me? Kill me? Start here. Kill me first. Do me a fucking favor. Because you're driving me crazy. You're a killer. You're a big shot. Just kill. You're a killer.
Excuse me, what do you mean by you, though?
President Carter won a major victory today in his bid to boycott the Moscow Olympic Games because of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Here's Johnny.
Another one bites the dust.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and we're gonna re-upload my 20 From series starting with the year 1980. And as I did with the home console series of 20s, we're going to start with 20 and work our way backwards to the number 1 game of that year. And we're going to start with a game called Spectar, and this was the sequel to a game called Targ. This was created in the same year, 1980, by a company called Exidy, and it's a great sequel. Well, I remember this in arcades back in the day. Sorry, I have a little disconnection issues slightly with my USB hub. Makes little sounds like that, and I think that's the only time it made that sound. Sorry. Hopefully it doesn't happen again in this video. But this game again is the sequel to a game called Targ, and both Targ and Spectar were created by Exidy in 1980. And Targ was like I think a 16 by 16 box grid, or maybe it was a 9 by 9 box grid maze, where you move around the maze trying to destroy all the enemy ships. And you do that in this one, but the maze is different. And there are also enemies called Spectar smugglers. And we'll go ahead and get started. And you are a little green Jeep type of vehicle, or car type of vehicle, whatever. And you drive around the maze, and you have 2 possible goals. One is to run over all those little star things, and the other is to destroy all the red ships. And the Spectar smugglers are the other green ships that appear, and they can be worth, like, I think 100 to 500. You can shoot I think just one shot at a time, but you can hold down rapid fire and you'll shoot another shot just as soon as you destroy one enemy. And the enemies in this game are much easier to destroy than in Targ. Targ is a pain in the butt. It's a really hard game, and it will show up later on this 20 from 1980 list. But once you clear a screen, you can start to rack up the points. You will get a an increasing bonus by 1,000 after each stage. And if you get to 10,000 points, you will get an extra credit. You will have to start your game from the beginning, at the beginning of that credit though. But it's really kind of an easy goal to attain. 10,000 points is not super hard to do. Yeah, I remember seeing this at... I saw it at a skating rink way back in the day, and I also saw this at a pizza restaurant arcade. But if you plan on destroying all the ships, all the red ships, instead of clearing all the stars, and we seem to have World War II Iron Crosses, you're going to find it's going to be tougher because the Spectar smugglers are going to be faster. They're going to speed up big time, and they're going to shoot more often. So I would recommend that you just try to clear all the stars instead. Scoring doesn't come terribly easy, but note that with each level that you pass, you will increase the value of the red enemy ships by 10 points. See, now they're 60. And you'll notice that sometimes the squares, the actual blocks that you drive around, will flash. That means that an enemy, either the red ship or the Spectar smuggler, will be coming out. And the game is very forgiving in terms of collision detection, or if you shoot just before you're about to collide into an enemy. It's very forgiving. You'll often be able to shoot the enemy even though you kind of ran into it, as long as you were wailing on the fire button. Now, this game is pretty fun for 1980. I remember seeing this, like I said, at a roller skating rink and at a pizza place that I went to after basketball when I was in grade school with my buddies, with my teammates. But yeah, this is a very good sequel to Targ. Targ is very, very hard. It's one of the hardest arcade games I remember coming across. I did very well that game. Again, if you play the extra credit that you earned, you start back from the beginning. I hope you enjoyed my my tribute to 1980 to start this video off. I'm gonna do the same one for 10 of my 20 From series, and then I think I'll get a different montage for the last half of my 20 From 1980 videos. I'm just gonna play a little bit of this extra credit. Whoops. But like I said, you can either run over all the stars or shoot all the enemies, and it's better to run over all the stars, because the enemies get smarter and those Spectar smugglers get much tougher to deal with. But that was Spectar by Exidy in 1980, the sequel to Targ, released earlier in 1980 by Exidy. Well, that was the first game, number 20, in my 20 From 1980 series, and I will see you soon, hopefully, with game number 19. Y'all have a good one, everybody. Bye-bye.